Okay, so we're back in the RAMBAM's Mishneh Torah. We're in the second book, Sefer Ahavah, the book of love. We're in Hilchot, Berachot, the laws of blessings. We're in Perek Zayin, chapter 7. So it says, there are many accepted practices which the sages of Israel practiced at meals, all of them being good manners. They are, when entering the meal, the most distinguished of the group should wash his hands first, and then the others enter and sit in a reclining position. The most distinguished of them reclines first, and after him the next reclines below him by his feet. If there are 3 couches, the most distinguished of them reclines first, the next reclines above him by his head, and the third reclines below him by his feet. The host recites the Hamotzi blessing, completes the blessing, and then breaks the bread. The guest recites the grace after meals, so that he can bless the host. If all of those present are hosts, they are partners in the meal. Okay, the most distinguished among them breaks the bread and also recites grace after meals. The one who breaks bread may not do so until salt and liftan, anything eaten with bread, has been placed in front of every one of them, unless they intend to eat the dry bread as is. So one should not break a small portion so that he does not seem miserly, nor a portion larger than the volume of an egg, so he does not seem ravenous. But on Shabbos, one may break a large portion. One should only break bread from a well-baked part of the loaf. It is preferable to break bread from a whole loaf. If there is a whole loaf of barley bread and a cut loaf of wheat bread, one places the cut loaf together with the whole loaf and breaks bread from them both, in order to break bread from both the wheat bread along with the whole loaf. On Shabbos and holidays, one must break bread with 2 loaves. One holds both of them in his hands and breaks one of them. The one who breaks bread places a portion in front of each person, and the others pick the bread up. He should not place the bread in the hand of any of the diners unless that person is a mourner. The one who breaks bread should be the first to reach out and eat. The assembled may not taste anything until the one who recites the blessing has tasted, and the one who breaks bread may not taste anything until most of the assembled have finished responding Amen. If the one who breaks bread wishes to accord honor to his teacher and to someone greater than he in wisdom, and allow them to reach out their hand before him, he is permitted to do so. 2 people eating from the same dish should wait for each other to continue eating until the other is drinking or the like. But if there are 3, they need not wait. If 2 stop eating, the third should stop for the recital of summons to grace. But if one is done, the other 2 need not stop for him, but may continue eating until they are done. One may not speak during the meal, so as not to endanger oneself. Therefore, if wine is brought to them during the meal, each person recites the blessing individually, for if one would recite the blessing and another would respond Amen while swallowing, he would endanger himself. One may not stare in the face of someone who is eating, nor at his portion, so as not to embarrass him. The server who stands before the assembled should not eat along with them, but as a matter of mercy, he should be given a taste of every dish being served in order to quiet his mind. If they give him wine, he must recite a separate blessing over each cup they give him, for his drinking is not dependent on his own will, but on theirs, and he therefore won't intend for his blessing to apply to additional cups. If one of the assembled left the room to urinate, he should wash one hand, that is the one he used to clean himself upon entering. If he spoke with a colleague at length, he must wash both hands upon entering. If they concluded the meal, but were still assembled to drink, he should enter, sit in his place, wash his hands, and then turn to face the guest. Why does he wash his hands at his place? For they might think that he did not wash his hands, since they will not be eating. One may not place raw meat on bread, nor pass a full cup over bread, nor support a plate with bread. One may not throw bread, nor pieces of food. One may not throw food that has no shell, such as berries, figs, or grapes, for they become revolting. It is permitted to have wine flow through pipes at the bridegroom's house, and one may throw roasted grains and nuts in front of them in the hot season, but not in the rainy season, because they become revolting. One may not wash his hands with wine, whether pure or diluted with water. One also may not ruin any other food or drink in a contemptuous or disdainful manner. It is forbidden for guests to take anything from what was placed before them, and to place it in the hand of the son or daughter of the host, lest the host of the meal be embarrassed, as he has nothing other than what he placed before them. And the result will be that the small children take it and leave, and the guest will not have enough to eat. One should not send his colleague a barrel of wine with oil floating on its top, lest someone send him a barrel that is all oil, and he may imagine it to be wine, thinking that it only has oil on its top, and he will then invite guests and become embarrassed that he has no wine. And so too, any similar things which may cause embarrassment to the host of the meal are forbidden. Once they are finished eating, the table is taken away, and the place where they ate is swept, and they then wash their hands. The reason for this being that there may be crumbs left there of an olive-sized volume upon which it is forbidden to tread or wash over. But crumbs which are smaller than the size of an olive may be destroyed directly. When water is brought to them for washing, the one who recites grace after meals washes his hands first, so that the most distinguished one present should not sit with filthy hands while waiting for others to wash. The other diners wash their hands afterward, one after another. No honor of precedence is accorded to this manner, for no honor, that is, offering a more important person precedence, is given in the matter of dirty hands, nor on roads or bridges, except at an entrance fit for a mezuzah, and then only when entering. After they have finished washing their hands and have wiped their hands dry and recited grace after meals, and they bring in the incense burner, the most distinguished among them who recited grace after meals shall recite the blessing over the incense, and they all respond, Amen. If they have wine there, for the cup over which grace is recited, as well as spices, a cup that holds a riviete or more should be brought, as well as some type of spices. One holds the wine in his right hand and the spices in his left, and recites grace after meals. He then recites the blessing over the wine, and then the blessing over the spices. If the spices were fragrant oils or the like, they should be dabbed on the head of the server, and if the server is a Torah scholar, they should be dabbed on the wall, so that he does not go out to the street smelling of perfume, for it is forbidden for a Torah scholar to go out perfumed. Although grace after meals does not require wine, if one recites grace over wine according to the practice we have mentioned, one should first wash the inside of the cup of the blessing and rinse its outside. It should then be filled with pure undiluted wine, and upon reciting the blessing of haaretz, a bit of water should be added in so that it will be pleasant to drink. One should not converse after the cup of grace after meals is filled. Rather, all should remain silent until grace after meals and the blessing over wine has been completed, and then they should drink.